Hi YouTube. Sorry, I thought I heard something. There's probably gonna be some noise, so I'll just work through it. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I'm a little tired. I got some things to do yet, but I got a lot done. So I'm gonna share. Well, I shared in my community two things I'm gonna share. One in this video, but in my community is a groundbreaking discovery on the real dates of the Gospels, and it's by Myth Vision, and it says, challenge your understanding of the Gospels with Dr. M. David um, Lit- Litwas reading the Gospels course. And you can sign up for this course where they're going to go in depth with no apologies like the dogma just because somebody said this is like this or that, when they're looking for evidence to prove um, what can be known versus what people think they know. And that's a big thing. And the video I'm going to share in this video, I'll put a link, is remember when I told you that the Masons started out not just to keep track of the bloodlines and whatever um, people in the world, but they were great philosophers, always had the best um, information about world happenings and history and that type of thing, that they were meant to carry on for the people. It wasn't just for them exclusively. And this is some teachings that I had learned in the Blue Lodge, and specifically I know that the color of, they could say what a lesser meaning of something is out in society, but that's not necessarily the way things are in the world, or that all Masons, whether it be a Freemason or a Mason, or a Scottish Rite Mason, the differences in the people that are doing that philosophy, or their education level is different. But I'm going to share a part of an excerpt from a book by George H. Steinmetz. That's a nice Jewish name. And it's called The Messiah Concept Revisited, The Lost Word, Its Hidden Meaning. So I'm sure you'll find this very informational. I'm sure some of the information you've heard before, um, but there will be tidbits in there that you have never heard before, I can guarantee you, or that it will kind of enlighten you in ways and get you to thinking about what you already do know, and to go along with what you already know, to give your mind an expansion in different areas when it comes to your spirituality and or faith or beliefs, that type of thing. Just kind of give you a little idea the way information has been carried, kept, and shared through the centuries with people. So, it's like, okay, here's a total psyop. Like, first, just say, like, in the first and second, third century, they're destroying all these libraries. They think they are, and they think they're ridding the truth, but that was actually taken and hidden, and then libraries were set on fire, but not concerning the greatest documents that they needed to keep. And um, so, like, when they went out of, the documents went out of Greece and got Latinized, or in German or whatever the dialect, these things were kept intact with their original meanings for the people with that understanding. So when you're listening to things, um, you can kind of just pick up on um, whether or not you feel like you're like an initiate of some sort. You'll know how. You'll just know. I I was going somewhere else with that, but maybe I'll get back there. I don't know. I get there sometimes. It's been a heck of a day. Not terrible or anything. It's like yesterday. I fast during the day, so yesterday, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but towards the afternoon, I had well, I started in the morning. I watched a couple videos, baking videos, getting some ideas or cooking different things, you know. Like I watched this one Asian lady make a dish with cabbage and you know, that type of thing. But um but I was knew I was having salad last night, so I boiled some eggs, but then after that I made cherry almond bread to go with it. It was sort of like a dessert, but not super sweet or anything, just more nutritious actually. But I do that sometimes. I'll get like really hungry because I try to get my cooking done like in the morning or whatever. So when I'm fasting, sometimes I get a little goofy or whatever. That's not it too bad right now today. But today I'm gonna make sloppy joes. So I got all that ready and I made homemade potato chips or what the English would call crisp this morning. I did them two different ways. Some I sliced really thin. I peeled them and sliced them, and I put a pan with a little bit of coconut oil in there. Turned it up really high, like 450 or something, and flipped them over like halfway through. But the other ones that I did in the microwave in a silicone pan that I have, those turned out better than the other ones, I think. But then we'll have like them and some pickled chips with some sloppy joes later tonight. So, but anyway, so yeah, I got all my housework done this morning, my exercises, everything, because I'm uh, looking forward to a Lady Babylon video tonight that he's putting out that and I'll get back to that Messiah concept too. My thoughts on that. But uh Lady Babylon's going to talk about the etymology of the word Hebrew that can be found in ancient texts out of the Greek, the ancient Greek. Go figure what came first, right? So anyway, this will be interesting, and I'm sure it'll give us like expand our minds to look at different concepts and dogma that we've been taught about people and their lives and what they're doing to people in the world and why they're doing it, that type of thing. So that'll be really interesting, I'm sure. So cheers. I thought it was funny yesterday. Doug came in and I don't know what he had learned something evidently on the internet because the internet is so cool like that, you know. And he's like these people where they've got all this internet and when they could be learning something, and I'm like, yeah, I had just got through with it's a Greek companion um learning tools, lesson tools to go along with the ancient Greek that I'm acquiring slowly. But I'm getting there. It's dawning on me how to put these words together. But it is not easy. It's really technical, this language. I've even made my own language, but this language is a trip. So really interesting. So I told Doug, I go, yeah, I just got through with the Greek companion lesson. And right before that, I had just got through with a 7-hour lecture for psychiatrists, psychologists, and therapists. So, yeah, by Robert Moore. So, yeah, it is good to learn. But I just thought it was funny. He was coming in telling me that these people that don't learn when they have everything at their fingertips, basically, like that. That is so true. A little bit of what you're going to hear in this Messiah concept is what I believe, like, okay, everybody has their own ideals of what this construct is that we live in and whether or not there's any kind of ending to it or what it's actually for or is it a reality or not, these types of things. This in particular, this part of what I was just talking about isn't necessarily in that book. Parts of it are. But what I found interesting is the Messiah concept of how each man would become that Christ in order to excel until every soul has actually sat in that position. The cleanliness of mankind won't be fulfilled, whereas somebody like, and I'm not putting them down because I can see where studies would lead somebody to believe, on the other hand, so I won't name names of the channel. There's somebody that I respect that believes that we're just passing through and that this construct is made for that teaching ability for everybody, or that learning ability and teaching tool, and we're not here to change anything. I don't really believe that we could really change anything anyway, but I do believe that um, the stupidity will be washed out of human beings, their ego, eccentric selves, separation from God type of feeling will dissipate entirely sometime. Not in my time, I'm pretty sure, but that will happen to the human family as a whole, where in the scriptures it said that none shall perish. That I do believe, and that's why I do believe in like that Messiah concept, like that. Because for everybody to get to that level of ascension, that's what Christ was sent to teach everybody, um, and how to do it, like a pattern. Uh, There's some people that believe they're the Christ, but yet they don't think they've ever lived before. Well, then, most assuredly, you're probably not the Christ or the original one. You would be feeling that in your blood. In our blood, we feel that. And we can carry those experiences from our ancestors um, within the Akashic records, in our thoughts. So, yeah, anyway. Those are my thoughts on that. But this video I'm going to share is 43 minutes. It's well worth a listen. In fact, the um, channel, it's got tidbits here and there. Um, it's funny, the Hebrew word mora is for murder, and I live in a town or lived in a town 20 miles away named Mora. Spelt a little different, but there's no coincidence there where I almost died brutally. But it's just, yeah, that's not a coincidence, not to me anyway. Then this morning, Doug asked me if I knew the meaning of the word NASA. Well, of course, people are like, never a straight answer and whatever. But in Hebrew, I found out it's like uh, na nasha and or with a yo hasha, and that's not the same word, but um and they said it meant to deceive, which is inaccurate, and the closest description I could come, the meaning of that word would be to lift. So that would make sense with the acronym of NASA with that, to lift, you know. So whatever, that's the closest I could come to any explanation. There's really, with the spelling, no direct correlation with the word NASA in the Hebrew language. And in our scriptures, the closest we would come would be Nasara, and there's like Nasara Gasara, going for the gold or to try and achieve excellence. Um, I'd like to see what that is in Greek, as a matter of fact. It probably goes into deeper detail. That's what the Greek does. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded for you all, and I hope you do enjoy that, the Messiah concept. It's most excellent. I mean, the person who's sharing it, to me, is clearly a believer in the name Jesus. I'm a believer in the name Christ. I have always paid my allegiance to the one true God, and anybody else is just kind of like whatever, you know, whatever. If they actually are doing something for who I consider my father, then I'll pay them respect in that area. Simple as that. But whether or not it's an actual human being, it, like I said, it surely isn't somebody that doesn't know if they existed or not before. So anyway, for these people that are out there like that, you know. So um, yeah, I love y'all. Peace from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.